So should I like it or what?
Hello, my name is Dmitry and welcome to the DPLABS channel. Today our special guest is Alexander, the brilliant creator of this truly wonderful, well, it's quite hard to simply call it a scooter, but for now let's accurately say it's the Vostok 1 electric scooter. Now he's going to tell us about his...
It's just a scooter that I decided to make the way I envisioned it. The primary goal was to pack as much exceptional power and overall reliability as possible into the compact and efficient scooter form factor. And basically this is more or less what came out of it.
As far as I clearly understand, the main material utilized here is D16T, and everything was meticulously made on a CNC milling machine. As far as I understand, these are indeed VVT 1.0 titanium tubes. From what I can gather, this impressive scooter combines lightness and strength.
Well, the lightness is relative, of course. It weighs 78 kilograms, but you can actually drop it from about 1.5 meters without any consequences for the structure.
Today, we are truly going to try and test it out a little bit, if we don't actually kill ourselves. For now, I am deliberately...
reduce the power by half, just in case.
Later, we need to go full power. We need to go all out. The suspension here is quite interesting. Let's see how it handles rough roads. Overall, it's a beautiful thing. A beautiful specimen. I'd say it looks expensive and luxurious. Let's see exactly how it truly rides. As far as I clearly understand, the steering column actually folds down and then retracts completely into the car.
Yes, it folds completely and entirely, and the steering wheel bends as well. But honestly, it truly drives much better than it actually looks.
No, it actually looks really pretty good.
It drives
better. I'll give it a try now. As far as I understand, its maximum power, at least the electric one, is 25 kilowatts. And it can accelerate to 100 in about 6 seconds.
Yes.
Hypothetically.
In theory, my absolute fastest time was 6.5 seconds, which was quite impressive. But up to 60 kilometers per hour, I was honestly scared to press the gas all the way so I wouldn't flip over.
Basically, the wheels are still small, but after all, it's a scooter.
I specifically moved the rear wheel back by almost 7 full centimeters compared to the very first version, so it would wheelie significantly less. But apparently you really need to adjust your stance somehow to properly load the front so it doesn't tip over, which is quite important for stability.
But with this kind of power, it's definitely something very specific, only for true enthusiasts. And as far as I understand, its range is about 100 kilometers if you are riding on flat asphalt. It has a 22S battery, right? Yes, 22S, 60 amp hours, lithium NMC and LGHM. And that's a good thing. There's also a charger built right into it here. You can pump in 3 kilowatts from a single phase outlet.
Yes, so in 2 hours it charges to 100%.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. It's truly a scooter specifically made for comfortable traveling. As I understand it, this is a working prototype. Would you say that's right?
Yes, so if I were to actually launch a service, I would change quite a lot of things.
Yeah, it probably really needs to be a very bit more high-tech. Well,
that's true, but on the other hand, it's very easy to repair. Even if you just throw it off a very high cliff, you can easily repair it by simply replacing the damaged parts.
And if you have, like, TIG welding, although this is D16T, it can't really be welded.
Well, it can actually be welded, but...
Relatively speaking, it can be welded, sort of a bit. All right, that's enough for now, actually. So what kind of controller do we have here exactly?
The controller is specifically manufactured by Yadrnaya Electronics Company.
In actual fact,
Unlike many other scooters here, you truly get a very positive progression, and the suspension system works absolutely perfectly.
yeah, the suspension here is pretty clever. Gentlemen, take a look at how the shock absorber is positioned. Let's thoroughly test and see how it's going to perform now. I truly think it should handle bumps and uneven surfaces just fine.
Yeah, it handles bumps really well.
It's got a noticeable amount of weight to it too. This is especially apparent when compared to this much smaller little guy. It even powerfully pulls me along with surprising ease. However, when going uphill, you still definitely have to push off with your foot to assist it. By the way, my friend Roman has a Chinese model of an all-wheel drive scooter. The one that the KNF 8 sets the standard for. It's also pretty good, but smaller. I don't remember what it's called.
Honestly, I'm against the concept of all-wheel drive scooters. It's
Also kind of a strange thing.
no one really tries to make an all-wheel drive motorcycle.
They do in fact exist, but they have
A completely different concept, specifically meant for plowing through thick mud. It's quite hard to plow through mud on a scooter.
That's for sure indeed.
Well, basically it's like a crossover vehicle that can comfortably go onto a dirt road, but it's certainly not something that goes off-roading deep into a dense forest.
All right, gentlemen, let's really try testing this thing out now.
You need to place your heels right here, exactly and symmetrically. They stand proudly like this.
Yeah, I get it. It's just that with my paw, it's a bit awkward for now. All right, let me try again. Basically, you just need to adapt. You just need to warm up the tires just a little bit when you're older.
Well, it's an utter total disaster. It handles well. A really hardcore guy. Let's see if we can actually get through this just for a little bit of fun and enjoyment. No, I don't believe that is the case.
For me, yeah, it's just, you know, it's kind of really quite sketchy without any proper rear brakes. But listen, it does 50 miles per hour pretty comfortably, even with, well, with this particular setup.
What exactly is happening? Jump from the rear enemy position. Well,
The primary reason I'm not jumping is simply because the road ahead is all messed up and quite dangerous. Suspenseful music. So, gentlemen, what can I say to you? I'll put it this way. I was honestly and truly blown away, profoundly impressed, and genuinely astonished by the sheer exhilarating power and seamless responsiveness with which it accelerates. The immediate surge of propulsion, the effortless transition through speeds, and the remarkable sensation of being pressed back into my seat as it gained momentum were truly extraordinary and left an indelible mark on my perception of performance. Of course, you need to get used to it because it's honestly kind of scary. And the weather, I'd say, is not really suitable for learning. It's really slippery, it's snowing, and there's a ton of mud. But I was really impressed by how well it handles. It's a bit tough for me personally because the rear brake is positioned directly under my left hand, which means I could only effectively use the front brake. But the acceleration is insane, and I haven't even used the full power yet. They haven't turned it all the way up for me.
Yeah.
60%, and even then you have to put weight on the handlebars and lean back. I've never seen scooters like this before. Of course it accelerates, but really, it's truly just like a high-performance sport bike. You could definitely say that with absolute certainty. It is in fact something entirely different and quite extraordinary.
How's the suspension?
The suspension is excellent, especially with small wheels. I rode over bumps. It handled them perfectly. The front wheel doesn't sink in at all. It remains stable. The handling is good. But honestly, you need to ride it for at least 200 kilometers. If only the roads were completely dry. I'm feeling a little nervous, you know. If I apply the front brake, it will most probably skid quite badly. You really have to get quite used to everything. On such a truly rough and uneven road, going 50 kilometers per hour is actually quite comfortable and smooth on it. The handlebar is set very well, and for me, it's really quite convenient as it's positioned high up. It's kind of a touring, luxurious, and comfortable scooter, you could definitely say. I don't know. It's hard to even call it a scooter. I don't know. It's like some new category of transport. Actually, in fact, as I understand it, there is quite a direct competitor that is quite similar. Is it called the Orion scooter?
No, actually, there aren't really any direct competitors. I mean, the Orion is a completely different class.
Is it smaller? I haven't seen it.
It's significantly lighter. So as far as I thoroughly understand, there are also strict weight restrictions in some specific countries. Here, absolutely no. In this particular class, it's really the only truly unique scooter available.
From what I understand, it's quite comfortable for very long distance rides.
Yes, it really has a very wide deck, so you can easily place both of your feet side by side and truly relax. Yeah, so...
You stand like this, not in some awkward position. Here.
You can even stand with your feet shoulder width apart.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, that's exactly what we ended up with. I really liked it. Now I need to think about what to do next with it. Maybe start, so to speak, mass production.
I also want to clarify that it has already traveled a total of 5,000 kilometers.
This unit ran 5,000 kilometers?
I haven't even changed the brake pads yet, which is quite remarkable. The front tire, however, did wear out, so I promptly put on a brand new tire. Other than that, basically, it still looks absolutely like new, in excellent condition.
Were there any obvious breakdowns, honestly, over those 5,000 kilometers? Here.
It's hard to break anything. It was originally designed so that you would only need to replace certain consumables like the brake pads, the tires, and perhaps even the shock absorbers. And the rest of the vehicle you could confidently pass down to your grandchildren.
Yes, and gentlemen, I want to remind you that this features a very clever engine of Alexander's truly own unique design. It employs an advanced liquid cooling system. Consequently, this specific part of the entire, let's accurately call it, platform, also effectively functions as the primary radiator. Therefore, it is exceptionally well designed and meticulously engineered. The powerful engine will certainly not experience any overheating issues, even when operating under demanding and intensely hot conditions. That's how it is. A very similar cooling system is also utilized on mountain snowmobiles. They typically have a specialized snow radiator integrated into their tail section. That's truly excellent, as there are no additional bulky radiators required, and this design allows you to really push the engine to its limits, especially during challenging climbs.
Yes, it was specifically designed and engineered for riding in challenging and demanding mountain conditions, even during those times when the weather is extremely hot and you're facing intense heat. So, for example, no matter how much I rode it around the beautiful city of Yalta, I absolutely couldn't overheat the engine, even during the hot summer months.
Super, super, super. Yeah, and then we still need to run the engine on the test bench to see its actual characteristics. Yes, I'm
also curious how much real power it will produce.
Well, hopefully Mikhail is assembling the test bench for us, and I hope he'll finish it soon. Otherwise, we'll have to clamp the shaft by hand and test it by feel. So gentlemen, just look at the kinds of things people are making here. Subscribe to the channel and give us a like. See you soon!